patient safety and a good environment is extremely critical. And it so happens that our next presentation touches on this point. How do you create a world-class environment that is safe for the patient so that he or she can recuperate and rest properly? That presentation is going to be from Mr. Naresh Duble from Armstrong World Industries.
So I really thank you for the gift of your time and attention. What I'm going to speak is a very common sense topic, and you will all agree that common sense is most uncommonly practiced when it comes to business environment. And sound and acoustics is something which is ignored in most of the hospitals. You go to the hospital lobby area, you find somebody standing and telling patient to be quiet. Isn't it design problem? And what's the impact of that particular behavior on a patient health? You can do anything in a hospital but sleep. How about that? So there are some common things that we look at how we can really take common sense approach toward changing the way we heal in our hospital. So can we have slides up, please? And most of you, when you're putting up a hospital, we are working with you, but it's about the design approach. It's about thinking sound, like you think light, like you think air, when you're putting your facility in place. So productivity of healthcare facility, patient healing, is also a function of sound around you. Because sound affects you cognitively, behaviorally, psychologically. Sound around you keep on affecting you all the time, whether you're present to it or not. So the number one factor why hospitals are designed and built are for patient well-being. We want to send patient back home as quickly as possible. That's the only objective. Whether it is government hospital or a private hospital. And when we do that, you get a better name in the society, better profitability on your bottom line, and better patient healing. But that is possible only when you provide a hygiene and a serene atmosphere in your facility. Now people talk about hygiene a lot in healthcare, and we have a lot of complicated systems to maintain hygiene and technology to clean up the place. But do we talk about serene atmosphere and a comfortable working condition for people who are at the heart of excellence in your healthcare system? The doctors and the nurses and the paramedical staff. We want to have hospitals to be safe and easy to maintain. Now, hospital building is far different building than any other building. It runs 24/7, 365 days. There is no downtime. Do any maintenance, it hurts patient, it hurts operation. So you've got to be selecting material. So globally, Armstrong modular ceiling is used wall to wall without any gypsum POP system, unlike in India. And you see how the infection control and stuff like that in hospitals can be taken care of. You want to make it green, you want to make it pre-rated, you want to make it economical than yesterday. And next 6-7 minutes we see that.
When we need professional healthcare, we go to the hospital, a place that's perfectly designed to help us recover, right? Wrong. Sadly, sound was never considered in the design of most healthcare facilities, and the result is that noise is the #1 patient complaint in hospitals. In fact, noise levels in hospitals have doubled in the past 40 years. One study found that average hospital noise levels around the world were a staggering 12 times louder than the World Health Organization recommended level by day and 8 times louder at night. One scientific paper described average hospital sound as pandemonium. The first casualty of noise is sleep. Then there's increased blood pressure and risk of heart attack, higher doses of analgesics, stress in both patients and staff, as well as impaired communications. The good news is that it's not hard to transform pandemonium into peace. Here are 3 simple steps. First, the right sound can actually help. Gentle music and nature sound have been shown to reduce stress in waiting rooms, recovery wards, and even during operations. Second, simply training staff to be noise conscious can dramatically reduce peak noise levels. But most important of all, we need to improve the acoustics in hospitals to stop noise from bouncing around within rooms or leaking from one room to the next. Studies show that choosing the right acoustic ceiling reduces sleep disruption, producing happier patients who get well sooner. There's a wide variety of ceiling materials that can help to create healthcare environments that feel quiet, warm, and restful. Total acoustic ceilings are ideal when you need spaces that offer patient privacy as well as reducing noise levels. They absorb and block at the same time, helping improve HCAHPS scores, address HIPAA requirements, and even contribute credits to LEED 4. We have it in our hands to transform healthcare outcomes simply by creating healthy sound in our hospitals.
So Armstrong is a 160-year-old company, globally present and leader into ceiling and wall system manufacturing. Now India is lucky and more progressive in that respect, and we had our first ever healthcare facility guideline coming in India a year and a half back, and Thapi from Sydney, which works as a consultant for 6 GCC countries, along with RFHHA, has released a guideline for building hospitals of various sizes up to the PHI, tertiary care kind of a facility for governments. And they have included sound and acoustic for 14 different areas for background noise as well as reverberation time. And most of the ICUs, most of the passages in hospitals are not designed for reverberation time, and there are miscommunication happening or sound staying there for longer duration, which either case is not good for patient recovery and communication. Now the new healthcare rating system, which is launched by IGBC, is also taking cognizance of sound as important design parameter, and they are given 2 points, which is very welcome move in India, and that's quite appropriately so. So healing environment in hospital is at cusp of safe hospitals, patient recovery, and staff effectiveness. And when we design hospitals like that, what happens? You can observe that medical error reduces. The improvement in the sleep, which lead to reduction in the sleep pattern of the patient. You will have increased staff effectiveness, staff satisfaction, improved communication, the privacy improves. Can you imagine we have different zones and different rooms in our hospital, like you have consulting area, you have ICU, you have patient ward. But if you really see for different sizes and different purposes, we have same material on the floor, same material on the wall, and same material on the ceiling. Isn't there something wrong we are doing in our healthcare designing? Because somewhere we require more privacy, somewhere we require more clarity of sound, and somewhere we require quietness. We don't want to get distracted even from the noise above on the corridor or patient or a nursing station coming and disturbing you. So coming to our products, like Armstrong has a world global award-winning product called BioGuard Acoustics and BioGuard, which is UL Lab certified antifungal, antibacterial, must product when it comes to infection control zones in hospital like ICCUs, ICU, post-operative care areas, NIUs. So this is the product which is must for acoustic as well as infection control. The rest of the areas can be done with normal mineral fiber product when it comes to healthcare facility. Now, there are a couple of examples, like Apollo has been using gypsum ceiling. They had moved to Armstrong totally. This is a new facility in Mumbai, which is wall-to-wall Armstrong. They are using major portion BioGuard. Even hospital like Believers, which is, and in 2 more minutes, yeah. Hospital like Believers, which is Charity Hospital, they are also gone for wall-to-wall modular hospital ceiling. There are a couple of, there are a lot of solutions on this. I'm not going to dwell on this. Can you have audio?
A trapdoor being really a trap for AC which is leaking and the ceiling getting impacted because of that. A lot of moistures and water on the ceiling. Got to stay with this moisture and water, and that gives a humidity and bacteria growth.
So apart from any other problem which comes because of leakage like fire and rusting and equipment getting damaged, the most important damage in healthcare is infection growth because of humidity growth in the atmosphere, which we are not, a lot of us are oblivious to in designing a building. We think staying is good, but every time we do repair, maintenance and such kind of ceiling systems, we have dust, dirt and paint coming in, which is a source of infection and bacteria into your facility. So modular ceiling in mineral fiber really works wonder. The another misconception which I want to deal with is like Somebody says metal ceiling is much better into healthcare facilities. This is very critical. And traditionally, how many of you think metal is the best solution in healthcare? You just raise your hand. Or you have metal ceiling in your facility? None of you? So metal, when you put a metal, it's like putting no ceiling because it's a good conductor of heat. And there are studies done which shows that when you do a metal, the energy consumption of the building is 3 to 5% more. Your building became energy guzzler. Plus, you don't have acoustics when you use metal plane. And when you go for a metal perforation, which is a very fatal error in most of the hospitals, currently also happening in India, the perforations collect dust and dirt, and if you have a fleas on the backside, it became a backyard of bacteria, germs growth. And if you have a high infectious patient coming in, that room is a fatal room for next patient. In a way, if you don't use different AHU for where you're using perforated metal, your hospital is far more infection prone than infection control. One simple atom, like I said, can make such a huge difference in the quality of air, quality of bacteria, germs growth in your healthcare facility. So we are expert when it comes to ceiling solutions, and when I was this, I'll skip this video. This is a TED talk on TED. Most of you know about TED. Probably will email you this link, and I will urge you to see this TED talk. It talks about again facility in healthcare. So Armstrong is a global brand and India's most promising brand award we got recently. This is a case study in Bhubaneswar, Amri. They did with hard surfaces, glass on one side and gypsum on all other side. Then it is retrofitted because, as I said, the first point of contact is lobby, where you want clarity of sound coming in. So I'm really thankful for your attention. So what I'm saying, Armstrong can partner with your projects, whether it's existing or new, not only to make them look good, but function good so that they are fit for the purpose. It improves quality of our life, our health and well-being, our social behavior, and our productivity. Thank you for your attention and time. Thank you.